Good morning. How are you? I hope you're well. It's a funny day. It's Sunday. Sun, fun, Sunday. So it's Sunday, November 2nd, 2025. I believe that's the year. I'm not entirely sure because my timelines are slipping. So much to believe in. Oh my gosh. So much to believe in. I can't believe that I have so much to believe in. Let's see if I can find me. Oh, there I am. Gosh, he's gorgeous. Where's the camera? I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille. Gosh. Privacy. Oh, private thoughts are no longer possible. Let me know yours right now. Come on, open up. Open up like a little flower. I want to know all about you. Getting to know you, getting to know. Oops, can't sing. Not on this channel. Well, I can sing on this channel. I mean, I keep music on this channel. It's on a different playlist, but the playlist is an assortment of music. So Tunnel Mental is a platform I use for promoting my music. And I do want people to buy it. I really do. But I mean, I don't force people to buy it. I usually put it up for free and they can watch and listen and all that stuff. But I give most of it away. It's just right now, I mean, I don't know anybody out there what their actual living situation is like, but mine is very, very tiny and very, very hard to keep going. But, I'm not making this into a begging letter. I'm just saying that I survive on very little because I am happier doing that than subjecting myself to the abject slavery of a system that no longer wants to hear what I have to say, think, or believe. They don't want me to be in any way communicating my thoughts and my ideas for a better way of running the system of controls by letting go of all controls of others. I mean, if you can let go of controlling other people, then I think you're already starting to look after yourself. Now, you build yourself into a thinking person who evaluates their situation on a daily basis. Now, as far as having self-proclaimed leaders in charge of this global shift that we're witnessing, and we're witnessing a global shift because a lot of people are just, I'm not bothered, just let them get on with it. I don't give a fuck, let them get on with it. Well, I don't let them get on with it. I have to have my 5 penny worth. I have to have my share of how I think the world should be run. But it's the word should that gets into my psyche because words are very important. So anybody who tells you you should do this is trying to control you. So am I trying to control you? No. I want you to explore every avenue of freedom through your free will without hurting anybody else. I want to see if that is a possibility for anyone out there, any one individual out there, to continue to live their life with complete and utter free will without hurting others. Very, very essential. It's a non-aggression, non-violent way of living. I've been doing it myself for most of my life. I got sucked into the system and spat out, and sucked in and spat out. But it's not really a thing that you can avoid, because if everybody goes along with what Larkin Rose, the brilliant Larkin Rose, who is a very angry, it's hard to put a label on it, an angry young man. He's middle-aged. I don't know. But he's quite angry. And when he goes on his rants, he's showing you and trying to teach you. I mean, but a book that came out, I think, some 10 or 11 years ago that he put out is a very good observation of where we're at in society. And it's called The Most Dangerous Superstition. And I think we're living in a world that is following superstition rather than common sense. And I called my book of poetry Uncommon Sense. So, you know, it's knowing that what you believe is projected out into the world, and there are many people that will be knee-jerk. I'm not listening to that, but that's okay. Knowing that is always going to happen, you just try and communicate more clearly the idea that free will that we're born with, as well as unconditional love, those things have to be exercised, not exorcised. You don't have to put them outside. Just get it out. I don't want free will. I don't want unconditional love. No. You don't do that. You what you do is you exercise those things that you were born with. You know, you were born with free will and you're born with unconditional love. So you exercise your right to those things as a human being, rather than a human doing, right? You understand the difference between a human being and a human doing, or don't you? Okay, what do you do? And if people answer with their job, then that's how they identify themselves. Now, their job is to serve the system. Warts and all. So my friend Jason, who goes by the name Doghouse, his music, and he was in a band of people. He does it solo now, but when his band, I listened to them many years ago, called Sick Note, and they did a song called Death Before Employment, and a lot of people got very offended because they read the title. Oh no, you must be employed. I'm employed and I'm poor and I hate it, but you got to do it too. No. Listen to the song, and it's very, very interesting, because having known Jason for a long time, he's the singer and wrote the lyrics for it, and worked with a bunch of mates to make the music for it, and still to this day, I think, performs Death Before Employment, or at least he should be. See, I did the should thing. Stop. Jason is a free person. His new music is awesome too. So there's something for you to look up. But the idea of death before employment is never surrender. Never surrender your free will. Never, ever surrender your freedom to choose what you do with your life. It's not a fight thing. It's a stand firm thing. I truly believe I don't need somebody telling me what to do today, right? My daily list of things I do are driven by my own desire to enjoy my life freely and to interact freely with people I love. And I love pretty much everybody because we're all in the same boat, right? Now the boat's headed for the iceberg, and what do? Do I just play music on the deck? I mean, there's a load of bollocks film about the Titanic. Look at the real history of the Titanic. Look what really happened. Look who died. Look who lived. There are things that you don't know, and you can explore them, and then understand that most of the news that you see and most of the opinions that you see, including mine, I'm in there somewhere. Where's the camera? There, right? Most of this is absolute bullshit. Don't believe it. Live it. Live your love. Live your free gift of freedom. And don't be dumb about it. Don't be silly. Don't be led by the nose along certain distractive practices that have got so ridiculously absurd. I mean, so ridiculously absurd. You know, the headline news. I mean, occasionally I'll because it's so hard to not see it. You know, if I go on a website or if I go down the street, or I go interact with somebody else and maybe go in their house or whatever. It's like there's always something news. Everybody's trying to tell you what to think, what to do, what to smell, what to eat, what to taste, what to touch. Make active choices. Don't be too judgmental. I mean, that's the problem right there, is when we start to judge others instead of making an evaluation of your position in their life rather than their position in yours. Yeah. Everybody's struggling with issues. Every single human being is struggling with issues. Now, their issues might be wide and varied, but they're still struggling just as much as you are. And be careful not to spill your issues and problems onto other people. Work through them. It's a tough one. You know, you have to go within. I'm dealing with many issues myself, but I don't want my issues to become the thing that I want to pontificate about. I want to pontificate about the meaning of my life and the reasoning for my life and the way in which I act within my life and how that affects others. Because it does. We have influence. The trouble is, we listen to people who shout loudest. And that's just not the way it is. It's not the way it could be. It could be such a nice, more loving, kind, and peaceful interaction if we would just listen to another point of view. Just actually let yourself listen in a conversation. People will tell you what they think eventually, but I'm not trying to open anybody up. I already know my thoughts, and I already know the way in which I am in this world, and I try to encourage others to be the truth that they believe and be kind, be caring, be loving, and go out and interact in the world. I get a lot of pushback. Why? Because it's the opposite. Why? There are some brilliant artists out there. I'm talking about Noel Rhodes, who presents a show called Unusual Tuesdays. Why? Because he does. Because all we ever ask really is why. Yeah. But there is a solution to the why. It's be love, be kind, be free. Simple choices are the best. It's funny, I made a t-shirt that, right, it's on the front of the t-shirt is a slogan, which is a song. Keep it simple, love you more. Very simple slogan, right? Little symbols, little arty, bit of an arty font. It's okay. But a friend looked at it the other day, somebody who's very, very close to me, somebody I love dearly. They looked at it because they saw the t-shirt in a club that's being donated, so as the club can keep going because they run on a shoestring. They run on a very tight budget. But she looked at it and then she said, "Yeah, but why did you have to put this silly slogan on the back?" Which la 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 la. And I said, "Well, because keeping it simple doesn't mean burying your head in the sand. It doesn't mean that at all. It means actually the opposite. Look closely at who you are and love yourself, right? So keep it simple, love you more. That way, you're starting to understand the thing that you were born with. Unconditional love. No conditions, just love, right? And you keep it simple and you go out into the world. Now, society is full of people who have opposing ideas. But if love is an opposing idea, what is the opposite of love? And how do they keep control? How do they make themselves seem like they're in charge in this upside down society? Well, because the opposite of love, unconditional love, is fear. And fear is the mechanism by which society controls almost everybody. And what are you frightened of the most? Death. Screaming in agony and dying, right? You're going to die. I mean, I'd avoid the screaming in agony bit, but the point is death is their ultimate weapon because we all want to live. But how we live actually allows us to confront death as a normal, ordinary part of being alive. Again, keeping it very simple. We all die. And it should be a celebration. It isn't, because people are in fear of it. And we bury people and we go back and we're very sad and we don't deal with our grief. And I'm sad about people that have passed on. I'm blessed with the idea that I believe that they are alive in me with my memories. Those that I was close to that died, they're still alive to me. Because I believe that they're in with their memory is with my memory of them is within me, and I keep it alive. And I celebrate the fact that they were part of my life. And I'd like that to be something that happens with my loved ones when I pass away. But I don't think it's passing away. I think it's going through a veil. You know, one that's there, but it's like you don't even feel. It's like you brush through it and you're eternal. I have to believe that I'm an eternal spirit living a human experience. And my experience has been an exciting adventure in a world turned upside down. It's everything's the flip of what you think it should be. Should, that's that word again. But am I promoting that by believing it? Yes, I kind of am, really. You know, everything has a flip side. There's good and bad in all of us. We err towards the good, and we understand eternal spirit, but we still struggle on a daily basis because we have these activated choices inside of us that are fluctuating all the time. I try hard not to fluctuate to the extremes. I try and keep it in there, but it's still frequency and light, and this flux is within our human experience. Sunday. Private thoughts are no longer possible. Let me know yours now. Oh my gosh, so many absurdist things. I noticed there were 20 cameras at the checkout in the supermarket the other day. 20 embedded little black domes, shiny black domes, all with cameras recording everything that went on it in the supermarket, including the employees, which they're watching very closely. You know, it's just bullshit. It's like, okay, well, if you're going to do that, here, whole lot. You want to see it all? Yeah, you want to, you know, it makes me want to react in a way that's so absurd because it's so absurd. Why are you watching me? You know, you already know I'm piss poor. You know that I can't even afford the fucking vegetables and the good food that I try and purchase every month. And what are you going to do about it? Well, you're going to restrict me from being able to buy it because what I believe we should have is enough food, enough shelter, enough healthcare, and enough education to live our lives in a reasonable, dignified manner. And it's easy, it's possible, stroke of a pen. But no, we've got to test these nuclear weapons. You know, it's going to cost billions, but it's okay. We've got to test these nuclear weapons so as we can blow up millions of people in the name of peace. If you don't think we're living in an absurd world, listen to that last part back. Bombing for peace. The opposition leader in a little country called Venezuela, which has a remarkably large amount of natural product in its soil to be plundered by other governments. But so the opposition leader is asking for the rest of the world to increase its bombing of her country for peace. How absurd is that? So, Monty Python, absurdist humor. This is a sketch. I'm just watching it play out. I'm eating popcorn and watching a movie, but I'm also trying to promote the idea that we stop listening and stop following fools. And they're already doing it. They're already highlighting themselves. You know, it's like when you read a book and that highlight, you know, you buy a used book. I buy used books quite often. And somebody's highlighted a line and you can't help it. You're reading the whole page, but that highlighted line, your eyes go to it. And people are highlighting the absurdity of their lives and the absurdity of a system that is bombing people for peace. And the books that we read have been published by large publishing companies, corporations, and they're being edited constantly against the author's wishes. But most of the authors that they're repackaging and selling their books, usually in audio form, because people are too lazy to sit and read a book and they're too wrapped up in their own role within the broken society that we live in. So they don't read books in their original form. They'll listen to them like they listen to this idiot pontificate called Nigel the Nomad, right? But you're listening because it's easier. It's convenient. It's easier. So the people who publish the books are rewriting some of the classics and omitting certain lines or adding certain grammatical phrases that make it more palatable and also makes it more in line with their idea of society, rather than your own inquisitive nature that wants to learn. They're deviating the learning. So I'll go back to free food, free shelter, free healthcare, free education for everyone. You can learn and unlearn, because there is a world of propaganda out there leading us all into absurdist places when all we really need is to love and be loved. I love you. It's Sunday. That was a good old rant, really. It wasn't a rant. See, a rant is when you're opposing something. I'm not opposing anything, really. I'm just saying, find your center. Find your desire. Find out what you want to be in the world and bring that forth. But make sure that you're not harming others whilst you're doing it. Try and make it like a part of the maxim of love you more, meaning don't hurt others more as well. You know, you've got to incorporate certain aspects of unconditional love. Don't expect a return on your investment. That's a very, I've invested all my life into this and all I got was a cup of coffee. No. Don't expect an investment to mature over the years just because you keep saying it over and over and over and over. No. Just be the love. Be the peace. The economic stranglehold. I'm not denying that that's happening, but there's a workaround. You can do it. Here's the camera. There it is. Little green dot. I have 2 screens. I love you. I'm going to be very sincere. I love you all very much. And please try harder to come from that place of unconditional love and freedom, and try not to hurt others. All right? Live, love, life. Don't spill your observations unless you're doing something to positively influence. I'm not playing the whole like positive, negative. We are both. Anyway, live, love, life. Try not to harm others. And we can change this. The boat, I believe the boat is turning away from the iceberg. All righty then. Love, 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 love. I'm going to do some music. I'm going to make some music tweaks and changes for my show that's coming up on November 7th at Sunspace Sunland. And I'll try and put a link to multiple places where you can find some of my music and art. All right, I'll put it in the show notes. Show notes. What are show notes? All right, live, love, life. Cheers then. Love you. Oops, I'm on the other screen. I'm on this screen. I'm on the other screen. On this screen. Oh my God. How long have I been whittering on? Half an hour. Woof. Must be lonely, I suppose. Cheers then. Lots of love. Love you. Bye.